Hello and welcome to Off the Shelf Reviews. And I'm Gary, and today we're going to review and discuss Tekken 2, Kazuya's Revenge, which came out in 2014. Ian, why don't you give us the synopsis for Tekken 2?
The story for Tekken 2 revolves around a man called Kane, who wakes up in a hotel with no memory of how he got there or why the police are chasing him. He escapes from the police and is captured by the minister, who runs the slums outside of Tekken City. The minister implants a bomb inside of Kay's chest and forces him to do some nasty assassination missions or some shit. I kind of got lost halfway through. And so that Kay can fucking spend his time finding out who the fuck he is and where the fuck he comes from.
Well, it's a real surprise that this film ever came out. And, you know, from looking at it and after watching the film, it's very easy to look at it and go, this is not a Tekken movie. Okay? This was like they took another film, you know, I can't find any evidence that they did this, but it just seems like they took a film that was finished or unfinished and went, we can't sell this. How about we rebrand it and rename it and package it to those video game adaptation movies that people love so much? Yes, that'll do, because we've got these two actors that aren't doing anything. They'll reprise their roles for next to nothing. We film those bits and then we can call it Tekken 2. Brilliant. Even the film even had an alternative name originally. I think it was called A Man Called X. And I'm like, but the main character's called fucking K. Where does the X come from? Even the original title doesn't make sense.
Down on the ground!
Where am I?
Get down on the ground now!
So going into this film, it's very easy, I believe, to establish that this is a prequel, because it has nothing to do with the events in the first movie, despite frequently flash-forwarding to the events of the last film.
They flash to the events of the terror war, if you remember, at the beginning of the first Tekken movie, and how they even thought that this was a good idea. They stole the Ghost of Mars shot from Tekken 1, who obviously had originally stolen it from Tekken Ghost of Mars. I mean, that one image of those people stood there holding decapitated heads up in the air doesn't sell Tekken to me. It sells fucking Ghosts of Mars. But, oh my God. You know, if you watch our reviews, you know how much I really, really dislike the first movie. I tried not to, but I couldn't help it, because you basically took something that I really enjoyed, screwed it up into a big ball, shoved it up my own ass, and then took it out and tried to feed it to me like a toffee apple. This movie was like somebody had taken what was left from that, you know, the toffee apple remnants of that piece of shit.
Before or after you ate it?
After I ate it, right? Took it away, you know, put it in a freezer, kept it cold, took it out, defrosted it, repackaged
4 years later.
and then brought it back to me and went, here, Ian, here. What do you think it is? And I go, oh my God.
See, I at least recommended Tekken 1 because it was a guilty pleasure, you know? At least watching that film, I recognised all of the characters from the video game because they looked like their parts from the video game, despite, you know, I made the comparison of Hayachi looking like a gerbil, you know? But at least they tried to make the characters look like the video game. And with Tekken, these characters are so bright and colourful, you know, and so varied that it honestly does not translate into a film very well.
No.
So at least they made an effort and tried. And at least it had a fucking tournament where the characters from the video game fought each other to the death, a la Mortal Kombat. But lo and behold, there was a tournament, it had characters that I recognised, and it followed a really ropey plot but at least it had some half-assed decent fights in the film, which are not memorable, but still sort of something you can put on in the background and forget. This new one, this Tekken 2, is just absolutely garbage. None of the characters resemble the characters from the video game at all.
No.
So the film opens up with Kazuya Mishima, who for whatever reason is now suffering complete amnesia.
Oh, we don't know it's Kazuya, because it's basically an old boy opening. This film is like a conglomeration of a bunch of fucking films. He wakes up in a room. We don't know who he is. It could be Kazuya. We assume it's Kazuya. That's what the back of the box says. You know, it says Tekken 2, Kazuya's Revenge. So this must be Kazuya, right? We don't know. He just wakes up. He wakes up and the police turn up. It's so badly fucking filmed. So badly fucking filmed. Him standing there looking at himself in the mirror with this gormless look on his face. With the narration going on in the background of, oh, my memories are kind of coming back or not coming back. I don't know. Then the two worst fucking clad police officers ever. I mean, it's like they literally bought a fancy dress costume and dressed up the police officers. They come in. Get down on the floor. Who are you? Get out on the floor. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to beat you up. I beat you up. Okay. And then I escape. And I thought, okay, maybe, this is right at the beginning of the film. I thought maybe at least be a little bit violent, you know? In the first movie, the fight sequences were really fucking bad. And, oh, you know, like Gary says, it was part of a tournament. But don't even get me started on that fucking shit, you know? This one, the fight styles are so choreographed. There's literally a sequence at the beginning of the film where Kay grabs a police officer and kicks him down a flight of stairs into two other police officers. The two officers, this is so badly filmed, the two officers are literally waiting there with arms wide open to catch their friend. Oh, God!
So does Kay begin in the slums, or is he actually in Tekken City at the beginning and then he sort of escapes into the slums?
I don't know.
Because
he's in the slums already.
Because I thought the outside was lawless, so I don't know why the police would even be out in the slum areas anyway.
I don't know. They're not even part of Tekken Force. This film's supposed to be a prequel, okay? So in that logic, the Tekken Corporation that they talk about in the first movie, because in the first movie there were 8 corporations after the terror wars that control the world, and Tekken is one of them, owned by Heihachi Mishima. Right, so in that logic, in this one we've got Tekken City. So Heihachi Mishima now owns the city and the Tekken Corporation and the Tekken tournament and the Tekken.
Fight!
So where does the minister fit into this?
El Presidente, I called him. El Presidente. Fucking Kazuya escapes. Gets beaten up by Rona. Oh, we'll get the Rona. I'll get the Rona in a minute because that's just fucking hilarious. And it gets taken to the minister, played by Rade Serbedzija. He played Boris the Blade in Snatch. And see, the problem I found with this film is that the actors were doing what they could with what they had.
That was what I felt. It was like this, there's no script here, or there's no direction from the director or from the screenplay. And so we have Kazuya with this blank expression from the start of the film, to the middle of the film, to the very end of the film. It doesn't change.
No.
And, you know, I look at Kane Kosugi, and I'm like, you have proven to me in the past that you are adept at martial arts. And it does translate okay into film. You know, he for me was the saving grace of the video game adaptation Dead or Alive, playing Ryu Hayabusa. And it wasn't amazing by any stretch of the imagination, but at least his fight scenes, were the most entertaining and the most interesting to watch in the film. This actor has also done plenty of other martial arts films, not where he's the main part, but at least where he turns up, he has pretty decent fight scenes or pretty decent fight choreography in those films. Those films are also not great, but at least the fighting is okay, it's passable. And unfortunately, they did not seem to know how to film him in this either. So we get some terrible acting from him, and then we get some terrible production on trying to shoot his martial arts.
Yeah. It was like they had one camera for this whole film. We've got one camera, so we've got to record you walking slowly from one angle.
There is so much padding in this film, I swear. If you were to take out all of the shots of Kazuya lounging around in bed, or just walking around and walking around and walking around and lounging back in his bed before walking around in slow motion, this film would probably be about 40 minutes long.
I like I said, I digressed. The minister is there, and he does this whole monologue about how he runs this part of the slums, and all the people underneath him are crazed killers that he has working for him because he's implanted bombs all in their chests. And he demonstrates this to us and Kay, that we will get to know in a minute, because he brands him with a K.
It's such a coincidence that they would manage to call him K. Is it just...
What letter are we on? J, L, M, N, O, P, K. Oh, we're on K. Right. Okay, K, look, this is what happens when I press this button. Beep.
We put a tiny little bomb inside you. Here.
What did you do to me?
I'll give you a demonstration. Look at this man there. This man.
That's probably the best effect in the film.
It's like they said, we need to get an explosion, so we're going to get this mannequin and shove C4 into him. Right, there goes all our budget.
Yep.
Boom,
I love the fact that later on they managed to pull the bomb out of Kazuya's chest, and you get to see the little device, and I'm just like, that's one hell of a fucking package.
I got confused. I thought he'd been shot, and I was like, hang on, I've been watching this. I don't believe he's been shot. And then I realised it was the bomb. But this film is not only bad. I mean, the first movie was fucking bad. This one is so fucking bad that it's not fucking scenes, it's what the fuck scenes. I ended up writing, when we watch films, we make notes so that we can kind of, go back and read and say, hey, remember that scene and all that. I literally, for this film, wrote what the fuck so many times. I wanted to scrawl it in blood on a wall, like, what the fuck? What the fuck? K, right? Because I don't want to call him Kazuya. I really don't. I'm just going to call him K. Okay. Oh, okay.
Well, he doesn't even have the chest scar.
No.
That Kazuya is identifiable with.
Yo, he doesn't even have the martial arts style. Fucking Kazuya Mishima fights with the Mishima style karate in the games, which relies heavily on fists and heavy kicks. So that's why you would unload a combo with a bunch of fucking fist punches and then do that twirling kick and then go for the uppercut. It was fucking awesome. In this one, I'm not going to try and insult Kane, but you just kick. That's it. He just kicks. He goes for grabs that Kazuya would never use. So I'm like, so you're more like a Jet Li. You're more like...
He is a lot smaller and nimbler in frame than the actual Kazuya as well.
Yeah, so his fighting style doesn't even work. So that's why I'm just going to call him K. But K is walking around the minister's compound. Okay? A lot. In slow-mo. And the slow-mo would get worse as the film goes on. He's walking around and he watches the assassins. Or assumed that they were assassins, because the minister's just got these kind of good-looking, I wouldn't say gorgeous women, Pardon me, I don't mean any offense. But
I don't know. I kind of really like their outfits. I was so bored though that when these girls turned up. I was like, well, this happened with the last Tekken. Is that when I get so fed up and bored with a movie that if there's eye candy, then at least there's something.
But it's the fact that Kay walks past the room that they're in, and the schoolgirl's in there with a guy, and he looks at her, she smiles, and then stabs him in the eyeball with her fucking lollipop stick.
Hello, handsome.
And then Kay moves to the next room, and there's a fucking brunette blatantly stood next to a bar. Is this bar set up? Because there's a guy who looks half asleep. Is he like the target or something? I don't know.
It doesn't matter if he's like training assassin rooms, because the minister's giving like a broadcast speech at the time about how you need to take out all these people. So I'm like, where is this happening? It's like, if the people that are being taken out not listening to this broadcast going, I think the assassins might be here. I don't know.
Yeah, and then we just watch, we follow Kay into a room and two guys come up. One's got a samurai sword, which I think is completely unfair, But hey ho, it's Kay. If you think he's going to lose, you should turn the film off now. But he doesn't. He beats these two guys up and they go, oh, you kill what you take, or you everybody dies. Well, everybody should die in this film because he lets them live and the assassins come in and finish them off.
Now finish them.
I'm not a murderer.
And then we get the funky flashback rape sequence.
Not let your emotions get you. Your heart is weak. Grace me. Stand up and fight it. Pain is nothing. Not disgrace me. Dishonor.
What the fuck? Seriously, I understood that the flashbacks were coming up, because obviously Kay is going to start getting his memories. But the thing that fucking annoys me is these flashbacks will appear a lot as the film goes on. And it's like the same flashback sequence over and over again. The same audio over and over again. And as the film progresses, the audio only gets a little bit better. You hear the words fear and pain a lot. But that's about it. But while Kazuya is having this flashback sequence, the schoolgirl comes along and starts raping him. What the fuck is that got to do with Tekken?
I don't know, but you don't wake up like that every day. So, the bulk of this film now then is that Kay has been employed by the minister and is being sent out on mission after mission after mission to go and assassinate these targets. And we have this English girl who just keeps telling him, this guy, he likes 8-year-old girls.
Yeah.
And this guy, he's drug trafficking, and this guy,
you know what that's from?
Doesn't matter. We just got to take him out.
You know what that's from? They stole it from Wanted. Right, okay, we've got this guy who's highly skilled and has no idea about how he's doing it, and we're just going to tell him to go kill these people. So you've stolen Ghosts of Mars, Old Boy, and fucking Wanted.
Fight.
And yeah, it just gets so worse. I mean, Rona, who the fuck is she? What game was she in? None. She wasn't in any of the game, but she's got feelings towards Kay. She's got feelings towards him already. She knows that something's wrong. She doesn't want to work for the minister for the rest of her life. Oh, who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares, Rona? You could have left at any point. You're a fucking assassin. You could have killed everybody. I get the feeling that there was supposed to be like a Nina fucking Williams, Anna Williams fucking storyline here at some point,
Because they explain that these two are sisters.
Yeah, that would be it. Rona explains that, I don't know, her sister just left her at the minister's doorstep, and the minister gets people to confess their sins to them. Or I don't know. I'm trying not to look too deep into them because the fucking 3 female assassins were so fucking bland. I'm even just going to spoil it. I'm not even fucking caring of this review anymore. I'm going to spoil this shit. The last fucking fight sequences with Rona and her 2 assassin counterparts who literally disappear halfway through the movie and then turn up at the end. You know, Rona's just like, walks up to the schoolgirl and you're like, oh yeah, it's going to be a throwdown. Oh yeah, I'm all ready for it. And she what? She punches the schoolgirl in the mouth and so she swallows her lollipop? Or she punches her in the throat? I don't know. It was
cut
cut
so fast and you just like, did I miss something?
Did I miss
Is
something?
there an extended cut?
What? What happened there? And then Rona walks into the fucking another room, a blatantly set piece room with the brunette. And the brunette's like, you killed the minister. And Rona's like, and I'll kill you too if you try and stop me. And that's it. They stop. They don't fight. They don't. Ow. And I'm like, what the fuck? Seriously? Why?
You killed the minister.
He's the traitor.
Why should I believe you?
Because you don't have a choice.
So I think it's about time we have another cameo from the previous movie. Let's introduce Brian Fury.
Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God.
Brian Fury, as you might remember, is a kind of zombified fighter from the Tekken games who has the strength to literally tear tanks in half. And here we have his origins, really, where we find out that he was also an assassin working for the minister who somehow managed to free himself. And he convinces Kay that he must free himself too. That's thanks, Brian. He turns up later on just to reinforce the issue with a newspaper. It's the newspaper delivery boy.
Oh God, that scene! I was waiting for a close-up of the newspaper because he throws it like, read this. And Rona just looks at it. And I'm like, what? What the fuck was written on that paper? Something so damning to you that you have to now go and fucking betray the traitor, the minister. We don't know! Oh God! That's not even the worst bit. That's not even the worst bit. Fucking, she sends him a message. Oh, you've got to go fight. You know, Kay, you've got to go fight this guy. Right? So Kay, she doesn't tell him who the guy is. Right? She doesn't, Gary. She doesn't tell him who he is. So he goes there. Rona is on a rooftop with a sniper rifle. And it's so badly filmed and so badly edited that she has Kay in her sights with a sniper rifle. And Kay goes, oh, well, we've walked past this street 5 times. And at that 5th time, Brian is at the end of the street. Hey, Kay, how you doing? So Kay runs after Brian round down this really long street. Really straight fucking line. And then turns and obviously it's a dead end and it's a setup by Brian because Brian's just the fucking genius of this movie. But Rona, who we haven't seen move from her first spot, still has Kay in her sights. So she's legged it from one point to another without us ever seeing it. She has Brian in her sights with her sniper rifle, but does she fire? No. No, she doesn't. She just leaves it to Kay. And Kay gets beaten up. And fucking Brian's like, oh, yeah, I'm the better guy. You've got to free yourself. Ha, ha, ha. And disappears. In that time that Brian disappears and Kay goes and has a conversation with Rona, Brian has not only infiltrated Kay's apartment and put a surveillance camera in his room, but he's also worked out how to transmit messages through radio waves to Kay's brain. Kay has just had sex with Laura. I'm going to get to Laura as well. Kay has just woken up after major heart surgery of having the bomb taken out of his chest. And him and Laura, who have been getting close throughout the movie, decide to have sex. And obviously, Brian watches them on the camera, I'll wait until they finish before I call him in. And then he starts talking to him. So Kazuya is trying to work out where the radio signals are coming from, because he can hear Brian. He's like, hello, Kazuya, can you hear me? Hey, Kay, can you hear me? So what does Kay do? Closes the curtains, because obviously that'll stop sound. Then he picks up his radio and smashes it against the wall because, well, that must be where the sound's coming from. No, Brian says don't destroy your phone. It won't matter.
But then he does also send him the information to the laptop?
Yeah. Hacks it. Brian, in that short amount of fucking time, has managed to just put himself into Kay's complete life. Even Kay doesn't know where the fuck he is. But Brian does!
Might want to hear what I have to say. Radio waves, electricity, UHF channels, they're all so easy to hack into. Look at this.
Fight!
Laura! So Kay, after killing a couple of people, Kay is allowed to get his own apartment. Whoopee, he's growing up so fast. So Kay finds this little rundown apartment given to him by an Indian man, I'm assuming from Bangladesh. We have to guess this because his accent is so thick. I didn't know if I was in Tekken City anymore or fucking Kuala Lumpur.
You share with the other tenants. No drinking alcohol and no cooking smelly things.
He tells Kay that this is his apartment and he's sharing it with his flatmate. So we're waiting for the flatmate to turn up. We first meet her when Kay walks back into the apartment after going out and coming back and going out and coming back again. He comes past and there's a slow-mo stare from Laura, the flatmate. Hey, Kay, you're pretty cute. Kay saves her from a bunch of fucking robbers because, that's what Kazuya does. He saves people. He's Heihachi Mishima's son. He saves people. And obviously she immediately falls in love with him. They then share a meal together. She cooks for him. She actually says to him, do you want to eat me out? No, wait, no. Do you want to eat with me? And he goes, oh yeah, I'll fucking...
I changed my mind.
I changed my mind. I'll eat that shit like it was fucking my last meal, motherfucker. And they build a relationship to the point where, she's a trained fucking nurse and can take this bomb out of his chest. What the fuck? And he's in love with her and he just wants to escape with her. But wait! Shock twist ending, everybody! Laura is kidnapped by Heihachi.
It was by the Gentech Corporation?
The Gentech, yeah. I didn't even know where they came up. It's just a card. Somebody had stabbed a card into a wall. Come to Gentech. What? Wait, because this is what confused me. They killed the minister off. And they come back. Laura's missing. There's a card stabbed to a wall, Gentech, and he goes, I have to go there. And Rona's like, but they'll be waiting for you. And I was like, who? You've just killed the bad guy! And his assassins! Who's waiting for you? Oh, because we've seen fucking Cary-Hiroyuki Heihachi halfway through the fucking movie 3 or 4 times. It must be him, right? Yeah. So they go to this place and it's like stuntman training 101 because the bodyguards that are walking around in the same suits that the police were wearing in the first couple of sequences are so stupid. They've got worse AI than the AI in Colonial Marines. And Rona and fucking Kazuya take them all down, no problem, easy as piss. And Kazuya comes across Heihachi in the final room. This was amazing. I loved this sequence. I loved it because it's the first time I think I'll ever see, the first and last time I'll ever see anybody wearing a blatant white suit and wooden Japanese getter on their feet.
Well, at least they tried to make him like the character from the game.
They might as well just put him in a fucking black thong like the end of Tekken 5. Anyway, I'm losing my point here. Anyway, Kazuya confronts Heihachi, and Heihachi surprises everybody, dun dun dun, with the big twist that he is Kazuya's dad. Wow, really? Oh god, I'm surprised. And he turns, and I must have fucking phased out through fucking boredom or dying or white noise going on in my head, because Heihachi turns and Laura's walking down some steps. And she's looking surprisingly a little bit hotter than she was about 10 minutes ago when we last saw her. I'm assuming she's been brainwashed into being an assassin. I don't know. I really don't know, people. She comes walking down the stairs, right? Stay with me, because you don't want to miss this. She comes walking down the stairs, walks right up to Heihachi, and Cary-Hiroyuki is, I don't know, he must be in his 70s. So yeah. He got a good.
I still really love this actor. You know, I've loved all of his appearances in all of the films and shows he's been in. They're all questionable in quality, but he's still just. I just enjoy his performances.
Oh, I enjoyed this performance because wow, I mean, he got a paycheck to make a 5-second fucking appearance and make out with Laura. That's right. She walks up to him and they just start making out, and then she dies.
Your soul is mine.
What?
Yeah.
That was uncalled for.
I don't know, he sucks the life out of her or makes out with her so badly that she goes into shock. But he fucking lays her down on the floor, Heihachi's wiping his mouth like that's what made me think he'd suck the life out of her, staring at Kazuya. Kazuya's having like a full-on fucking mental breakdown at this point. Like he's gonna explode with revenge. Because this is Kazuya's revenge. He's on the edge, and just as he goes to attack, Heihachi teleports out of the room.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
I didn't know Heihachi could teleport.
Neither could I, and I've been following the games for 7 fucking oh god.
One day, perhaps. But not today.
And so there it goes. It literally just ends at that moment with Heihachi looking out over Tekken City, which pretty much just sets you up for the first film.
Which is, it's the third of... So, Tekken 1 is actually Tekken 3. And Tekken 2 is the prequel to Tekken 1. But, yeah. Well...
I have, unfortunately, no favourite or memorable sequences in this film. None. None at all. I guess if I was to recall anything, it would be Lollipop Girl, you know? She was fun. I remember the scene with Kazuya going, I don't like guns. Yeah, he somehow is a master marksman.
I don't like guns.
Yeah, we need to find out whether you can shoot or not.
Yeah, I'm struggling to recall anything.
Yeah, mine are... I have no favourite scenes in this film. Most of mine are what the fuck sequences. You know, what the fuck did that mean to that? Like I said, the guy exploding at the beginning, what the fuck was that? What the fuck were you doing stealing that scene from Ghost of Mars? What the fuck was the schoolgirl doing stabbing that guy in the face? What the fuck is the barman doing? That was a really lazy fight. What the fuck happened at that club? Kazuya walks in slow-mo, everybody else is in normal. Kazuya's in slow-mo, everybody else is in normal. Everybody else is in slow-mo, Kazuya's in normal. Kazuya's in normal, everybody else is in slow-mo. The guards leave the gang boss. The gang boss then has a feeling that Kazuya's walked slowly up the back stairs. The back stairs! When he looks, Kazuya's not there. And then this happens! What happened there? What? Kazuya, did you break his neck? Did you stab him? What? The last two fight sequences with the girls. What the fuck happened there? You know? What the fuck was Brian doing with putting a camera in Kazuya's room? What the fuck was he using the radio waves for? What the fuck was on that newspaper that you gave to Rona? And finally, what the fuck did Heihachi do to Laura? And how the fuck did he teleport out the room?
So, it comes to recommendations for Tekken 2 Kazuya's Revenge. And, you know, I feel bad now for Mortal Kombat Annihilation and Street Fighter The Legend of Chun-Li, because all of a sudden, they don't seem so bad anymore. Tekken 2. Wow, you've reached a whole new low. And you know, I went into this film kind of like, you know what, all the reviews for this film are terrible. No one has anything good to say about this film. And I'm like, well, it's probably just got a bad rap for just being another one of those video game to movie adaptations that didn't quite work right. Maybe there's something in there that I can actually take and enjoy and be able to tell you that there is something in there, like I did with Tekken. There is fucking nothing in Tekken 2 Kazuya's Revenge except some eye candy. You know, I was hoping for some fight scenes, the fight choreography, knowing that it was the same actor from Dead or Alive. I was like, maybe there will be some fights, maybe something will stand out. And it doesn't. It just looks, people are cartwheeling around, punches, kicks, and blocks. There's, you know, it's all stuff you've seen done better. And so the fight scenes are just way below average when everything else is scraping the bottom of the barrel. The only good thing in the film is the fight scenes, and they are not good. So, fuck no!
Fight!
No. Never.
Really?
No. Yeah. Fucking really. Fucking really. I got told that there was a Tekken 2. I wanted to fucking die. I seriously did. Somebody made a joke. Hey Ian, you should you should watch Tekken 2. And I was like, I know I'm gonna have to. And I fucking hated the first one. Like Gary said, Mortal Kombat Annihilation looks like a fucking Oscar-winning piece next to this fucking film. Chun-Li, the fucking Street Fighter movie, is fucking horrible, but this is fucking worse! You want to sit there on the internet and go on about how badly the Ghostbusters movie is? Fuck you! Watch Tekken 2! It's fucking badly filmed, badly edited, badly audio, bad fucking acting, bad script writing. Fucking Witch Chaos was the director's name! Witch Chaos! And he directed Ballistic X vs. Sever, which is a fucking worst film of all time. Tekken beats it. Tekken 2 fucking beats it. If you hate somebody, I mean really fucking hate somebody, buy them the Tekken box set. Tekken 1 and 2. Hand it to them on their birthday with a big smile on your face, knowing just how much you fucking shat on that person's life by giving them these two fucking films. They reuse footage in this film over and over again. Things are in slow-mo. Slow-mo walking. I'll give you some fucking slow-mo. Fuck this film!
if I have to end on something, I'm going to say go back and watch the animated movie from 1998. That is your Tekken movie. And if anything...
That's not even that good.
Well, it's so better
It's
than
fucking
this.
better than this!
And then if anything, you could go and watch Tekken Blood Vengeance, which also only came out a few years ago.
That's
It's a
okay.
CGI Tekken movie
Yeah.
made by the same people, I think, that made the Resident Evil Degeneration animated movies.
Yeah.
So at least there is something else other than this mess. Because it is a fucking mess. Thanks for watching Off the Shelf Reviews.
A long time ago, over 1 billion people believed in Allah, over 2 billion in Jesus Christ, and a few in L. Ron Hubbard.
I have no idea who you're talking about.